Well, hey there, happy hackers. My name's Andrew, and this is Red Blue Labs. I'm glad you're here because today I'm going to be talking about a cool Windows tool called pktmon, and it comes with all Windows systems that are Windows 10 and onward. So today I'm going to be showing you how to use it. I'll give you my honest opinion of it, and we'll go through basic usage. All right, enjoy. It's incredibly powerful. It is terminal based, so there is no GUI by default, and so that might be a bit of a turnoff for a large amount of users. And when I compare this tool to Wireshark, there is some key differences. So I'm going to talk about that, a little bit about my opinion near the end. But what I want to do first is get you started using the tool. So first off, you do need to run a command prompt as administrator. You can also run this from PowerShell. All right, so get your terminal open, and if you want to follow along, feel free to pause the video at any time, and we'll be ready to rock. When you run the command prompt as administrator, it's going to open up by default in System32. And when you are capturing files, it's actually going to be capturing the files and putting them in the System32. Now, for me personally, I don't recommend you putting anything in there that doesn't need to be in there. So go ahead and make a folder anywhere else, because wherever you run pktmon from, that's where it's going to be saving the file to. That's what's important. Okay, let's take a quick peek at what are some of the things that we can actually do with this tool. So type pktmon help, and you're going to find out right away a lot of the commands that we can actually do. Just like Wireshark, we can actually filter, and we can list some of the components that we have. We can start, stop, look at the status. Unload basically means kill it so that it's done working. We have counters, we can reset, and then we can do some formatting of this file so that we can take our output and then potentially give it to other administrators. It's complicated enough to make you have to learn the tool. It's different than Wireshark, where we have the search window where we can like type in, I want to look at TCP. Boom, you've got all the TCP traffic. Or I want to look at SYN packets, or I want to look at ICMP. We can do all of that, but we have to be a bit more intentional with it, because with this tool, we're actually going to be starting off, creating a filter, and grabbing all the traffic that matches that traffic exactly. Just like Wireshark, we do need to learn about filtering. So let's go ahead and take a look at our filters. These are the options that we have available with this tool. We can add filters, we can list, and we can remove. Remove is going to nuke all of the created filters. So let's look at what the default filters are that come with this tool. And on the screen, you can see the various filters that are in place. So we could just go ahead and start a capture and grab all of the network interfaces. However, we should actually have a good idea of what interfaces we're actually going to be listening on. So let's take a look at the list, the components that are inside my computer. So pktmon comp list, components list. And we can see right away I've got a Bluetooth, I have wireless, and I actually have wireless running at the moment, and I also have Ethernet running as well. So I've got two interfaces that are working, so I would be able to grab that stuff. Also, I do use VirtualBox, so you can see that I've got my host only. Okay, and in this video I'm going to be capturing traffic on all of the interfaces. Anytime you do network analysis, you do need to have a good coffee with you. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to do a very basic one, and I'd like to capture traffic on my entire subnet. So how we do that is we need to know what our subnet is, and it's really easy. For those who have worked with computers, you can find the IP address, and based on the IP address, we're going to be able to tell what the subnet is. So ipconfig for Windows, and let's fly over, and we can see that on my Ethernet address here, I've got an IP address of 192.168.1.74. Beautiful. And my subnet is 255.255.255.0, which means that these first three octets is my subnet. Beautiful. Okay, so let's clear the screen and set a capture that's going to listen to everything that's happening on this network. So that means my computer, any virtual machines that are set to bridged. Maybe I've got my phone connected to the wireless. If I'm doing anything on there, maybe we'll be able to catch it with this tool. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this, but I am going to create the filter first. So that's kind of the process. We set the filter, and then we turn the pktmon on. Okay. Add, so pktmon filter, add my subnet, and we're going to set it to I 192.168.1.0/24. Now, if you've done any Nmap scanning, this is very, very similar. You should recognize this because we're using the CIDR of 24 on this particular string. So I'm going to hit enter. Bingo bango, we've got our filter added. Let's go ahead and actually look at this filter. pktmon filter list, and right at the bottom we can see the filter that I added. Beautiful. Okay, I think we're ready to run this thing. Let's do it. And so if I want to capture all the traffic, we do have to start it like so. pktmon start, pretty straightforward. However, we're going to throw a switch in there that is going to be listening on all components. So it's started, and let's go and take a look at the status. pktmon status. So we are grabbing some traffic right over here. That's a filter that's in play right now. That's great. And let's go and stop our capture because traffic is happening. Maybe I'll go to a website really quickly. There you go. Boom. Refresh the page off screen. We can actually see on the screen the number of packets that were captured right over here. See? Beautiful. Let's go and see if that file is created. It is. All right, it comes in an ETL format. I quite like the pkapng format, so I like to typically format these into a format that is easily used by Wireshark. So let's go ahead and actually do that. So the command to do that looks like this. pkapng, the file that I want, output, and we'll give it a generic name. Processing. Now we look at our directory again, and we have a file here. Now let's go ahead and actually open this up in Wireshark. File, open, navigate to the file that I'm trying to open and look at. Beautiful. And here's just some general traffic that I was able to grab from during that capture. So what are my honest thoughts on this tool? This tool is great, and honestly I can see myself using it in the future, but in very specific ways. So for me personally, I don't think I would use this tool for doing an in-depth packet analysis. I'm trained and I've done a ton of work in Wireshark, and I'm really accustomed to the interface, so I can navigate that tool really well. Where can I see this tool being really useful? I can see it being very useful within scripting. Okay, so hear me out. With Imagine having a script that's set on a server or on a different machine somewhere in the network, and it's set to a scheduled time where it triggers and captures a very specific type of traffic to monitor, to grab a snippet in that moment in time, and then save that file somewhere, or maybe ship it off to another server for deeper analysis. And if you're one of those people that are astute with PowerShell scripting, like these two things will merge beautifully. All right. Hey, if you're enjoying some of these videos that I'm making, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That'd be great. Here's a couple videos here on either side of me. I'll move into the middle. That might serve you well. And have a great day. All right. See ya.